The United States quarter dollar 1776 to 1976, commonly called the Bicentennial Quarter, is one of the most famous commemorative coins in American history. This coin was issued by the United States Mint to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the independence of the United States. The anniversary commemorates the historic event known as the United States Declaration of Independence, which was adopted on July 4, 1776. To celebrate this bicentennial milestone in 1976, special designs were created for three coins: the quarter, half dollar, and dollar. The quarter dollar carries the dual date 1776 to 1976, which represents the 200-year anniversary of American independence. Even though the coin shows 1776 to 1976, most of these quarters were actually minted in 1975 and 1976, and there are no quarters dated 1975 because the mint produced only the bicentennial design during that period. On the obverse front of the coin, the design still features the portrait of George Washington, which is the traditional image used on U.S. quarters since 1932. Washington's portrait faces left, and above his head is the word liberty, which represents the American ideals of freedom and independence. On the right side of the portrait is the motto, "In God We Trust," which appears on many U.S. coins and reflects the nation's historical and cultural traditions. Beneath Washington's portrait is the special dual date 1776 to 1976, marking the bicentennial celebration. The design for Washington on the quarter was originally created by sculptor John Flanagan, whose artwork has been used on the quarter for decades. The reverse, back, of the bicentennial quarter features a completely different design compared to normal quarters. Instead of the traditional eagle used on earlier quarters, this coin shows a colonial drummer boy holding a drum, symbolizing the soldiers and patriots who fought for American independence during the Revolutionary War. Around the drummer is a circle of 13 stars, representing the original 13 colonies that formed the United States. On the left side of the drummer is a torch, symbolizing freedom and enlightenment. Above the design are the words United States of America, and below it appears quarter dollar with the denomination 25 cents. This reverse design was created by Jack L. H.R., whose design was selected through a national competition organized by the United States Mint. The bicentennial quarter was minted at several mint facilities, including the Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, and the San Francisco Mint. Coins produced in Philadelphia usually have no mint mark. Those from Denver have the D mint mark, and coins from San Francisco have the S mint mark. The San Francisco Mint produced special proof and silver versions of the bicentennial quarter for collectors. Most circulating quarters were made from a copper-nickel clad composition, which contains layers of copper and nickel, while collector versions included 40% silver. In terms of physical specifications, the bicentennial quarter has a diameter of about 24.26 millimeters and weighs approximately 5.67 grams for the standard clad version. The edge of the coin is reeded, meaning it has small grooves around the side, a feature common to many U.S. coins. This reeded edge was originally introduced to prevent people from shaving precious metal off coins when they were made from silver. The coin's metal composition for regular circulation pieces is about 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel on the outer layer, with a pure copper core inside. Millions of bicentennial quarters were produced, making them one of the most widely circulated commemorative coins in American history. In fact, more than 1.6 billion coins were minted across the different mints. Because of this large production number, most bicentennial quarters are still common in circulation and usually have a value close to 25 cents, unless they are in exceptional condition or part of a special silver collector set. However, certain high-grade examples, proof coins, or rare minting errors can be worth significantly more to collectors and numismatists. The Bicentennial Quarter is also important because it represents a unique moment in American history when the country celebrated 2 centuries of independence. During the bicentennial celebrations in 1976, the United States held many events, parades, and cultural programs honoring its past. Special coins like the Bicentennial Quarter allowed ordinary people to participate in the celebration, since these coins circulated widely and became keepsakes for many Americans. Today, collectors and historians often see the coin as a symbol of national pride and remembrance of the Revolutionary era. For coin collectors, the Bicentennial Quarter remains an interesting piece because it combines historical symbolism, unique design, and a commemorative purpose. Although the coin is common, its design featuring the colonial drummer boy makes it stand out among other quarters. Many people still keep these coins in collections, albums, or souvenirs because of their connection to the 200-year anniversary of American independence. Even decades after its release, the 1776 to 1976 quarter dollar continues to be one of the most recognizable and historically meaningful coins ever produced by the United States Mint. The United States quarter dollar 1977 D is part of the long-running Washington Quarter series produced by the United States Mint. This coin represents a typical circulating American quarter from the late 20th century and reflects the nation's economic, historical, and cultural identity. The D Mint mark on this coin indicates that it was produced at the Denver Mint. During the 1970s, millions of quarters were minted each year to meet the needs of daily commerce across the United States, and the 1977 D quarter was one of the coins widely used in everyday transactions, such as vending machines, parking meters, and general purchases. On the obverse front of the 1977 D quarter appears the famous portrait of George Washington, the first president of the United States and a central figure in the nation's founding history. Washington's image has appeared on the quarter since 1932, originally introduced to commemorate the 200th anniversary of his birth. The portrait shows Washington facing left and was designed by the sculptor John Flanagan. Above Washington's head is the word liberty, a powerful symbol representing the American ideal of freedom. On the left side of the portrait is the national motto, "In God We Trust," reflecting a phrase commonly used on U.S. coinage since the 19th century. Beneath Washington's portrait appears the date, 1977, indicating the year the coin was produced. On the reverse back side of the coin is the classic American eagle design used on Washington quarters from 1932 until 1998. The eagle is shown with its wings spread wide, symbolizing strength, independence, and national pride. In its claws, the eagle holds a bundle of arrows representing readiness and defense, while beneath the eagle are olive branches, symbolizing peace. Above the eagle is the motto E pluribus unum, a Latin phrase meaning, "out of many one," referring to the unity of the states forming the United States. Around the top of the coin appears the inscription United States of America, while the denomination quarter dollar appears at the bottom. The reverse design is also credited to John Flanagan, whose work helped shape the visual identity of American coinage during the 20th century. The 1977 D quarter is made from a copper-nickel-clad composition. This type of metal composition became standard for U.S. quarters beginning in 1965, when rising silver prices caused the government to remove silver from circulating coins. The outer layers consist of 75% copper and 25% nickel, while the inner core is mostly copper. This combination gives the coin its silver-like appearance while keeping production costs lower. The coin weighs approximately 5.67 grams and has a diameter of 24.26 millimeters. Like most U.S. quarters, it also has a reeded edge, meaning the edge contains small grooves. This feature originally helped prevent people from shaving off small amounts of precious metal when coins were made of silver. In 1977, the Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of quarters, making the 1977 D quarter a very common coin in circulation. Because of the high mintage, most examples found today are worth close to their face value of 25 cents, especially if they show signs of wear from everyday use. However, collectors often look for coins in uncirculated condition, meaning coins that were never used in daily transactions and still retain their original mint luster. These higher-grade examples can sometimes be worth more than face value. Rare mint errors, such as double dies or off-center strikes, can also increase the coin's value to collectors and numismatists. The 1977 D. Washington Quarter represents a period in American history when coin designs were relatively stable and widely recognized. Before the introduction of the 50-state quarters program in 1999, most quarters carried the same design for decades. As a result, coins like the 1977 D quarter became a familiar part of daily life in the United States. They passed through countless hands in stores, banks, and vending machines, becoming small but meaningful pieces of everyday history. For collectors and history enthusiasts, the 1977 D quarter is part of the larger Washington Quarter series, which is one of the longest-running coin series in American numismatics. Although it is not considered rare, it still holds historical value because it represents the economic environment and minting technology of the late 1970s. Many collectors keep examples of this coin as part of a complete Washington Quarter collection that spans from 1932 to modern issues. Today, the 1977 D quarter dollar remains a recognizable and historically significant coin from the United States. While millions were produced and many are still found in circulation, the coin continues to attract interest from collectors, historians, and people who enjoy learning about the history of money. Its combination of iconic design, national symbolism, and connection to everyday American life makes it an enduring part of U.S. coin history. The United States Quarter Dollar 1999 Connecticut State Quarter is one of the most famous coins released as part of the historic 50-state quarters program. This program was introduced by the United States Mint to honor each of the 50 states of the United States. The program ran from 1999 to 2008 and became one of the most successful coin collecting initiatives in American history. Each year, 5 states were honored in the order that they joined the Union. The Connecticut Quarter was the 5th coin released in 1999, following Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Georgia. This coin celebrates the history, heritage, and symbolism of the state of Connecticut and highlights an important historical landmark known as the Charter Oak. The reverse side of the coin, which is visible in the image you shared, features the famous Charter Oak tree. This legendary tree is strongly connected with the early colonial history of Connecticut. According to historical tradition, in 1687, Connecticut colonists hid their royal charter inside the hollow of this oak tree to prevent it from being taken away by the British governor. This event symbolized the determination of the colonists to preserve their political rights and independence. Because of this story, the Charter Oak became a powerful symbol of freedom and self-government in Connecticut's history. On the coin's reverse design, the large oak tree spreads its branches widely, representing strength, endurance, and liberty. Above the tree appears the inscription Connecticut, along with the year 1788, which marks the year Connecticut became the 5th state to join the United States. Below the tree on the reverse side, the coin displays the words the Charter-O-A-K, identifying the historic tree represented in the design. The year 1999 appears at the bottom of the coin, which represents the year this quarter was issued as part of the state quarters program. Beneath that is the Latin motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many one, symbolizing the unity of the states forming the nation. The reverse design was created by artist T. James Farrell, whose design was selected by the United States Mint after consultation with state officials and historians. The detailed branches of the tree and the balanced layout make this design one of the most recognizable among the state quarters. The obverse front of the 1999 Connecticut Quarter continues to feature the portrait of George Washington, the first president of the United States. Washington's portrait has been used on the quarter since 1932 and was originally designed by John Flanagan. On the front of the coin, the word liberty appears above Washington's head, symbolizing the ideals of freedom and democracy that define the nation. To the left of the portrait appears the national motto, "In God We Trust," while the year of issue 1999 appears at the bottom. The obverse design used for the State Quarters program was slightly modified compared to earlier Washington quarters, giving the portrait a more modern appearance while maintaining its traditional look. The Connecticut State Quarter was produced at several major U.S. Mint facilities, including the Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, and the San Francisco Mint. Coins minted in Philadelphia carry no mint mark. Those minted in Denver carry a D mint mark, and special proof coins minted in San Francisco carry the S mint mark. Millions of these quarters were produced for circulation, making them widely available across the country. However, special proof and collector versions with higher quality finishes were also produced for collectors and numismatists. The coin is composed of a copper-nickel clad composition, which has been the standard material for circulating U.S. quarters since 1965. The outer layers consist of 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving the coin its silver-like color, while the core is primarily copper. The quarter has a diameter of about 24.26 millimeters, a weight of approximately 5.67 grams, and a reeded edge with small grooves around the rim. These grooves were historically designed to prevent people from shaving precious metal from coins when they were made of silver, and the feature continues today as part of the traditional design of U.S. coinage. The 50 State Quarters program, which introduced coins like the Connecticut Quarter, played an important role in revitalizing interest in coin collecting. Millions of Americans began saving the different state quarters as they appeared in circulation, hoping to complete full sets representing all 50 states. The Connecticut Quarter, with its historic charter oak design, quickly became a favorite among collectors because of its detailed artwork and meaningful historical story. Schools, families, and hobbyists across the United States participated in the program, making it one of the most popular educational and numismatic projects ever organized by the United States Mint. Although the 1999 Connecticut State Quarter is very common in circulation and typically worth 25 cents in used condition, coins in uncirculated condition, proof versions, or rare mint error varieties can have higher value among collectors. Some collectors look for coins with exceptional detail, brilliant luster, or unusual minting errors, which can make the coin more valuable in the numismatic market. Overall, the Connecticut State Quarter is more than just a circulating coin. It is a small piece of American history. The image of the charter oak reminds people of the early struggle for political independence and the importance of protecting democratic rights. As part of the 50 State Quarters program, this coin helped millions of people learn about the history and identity of each state while encouraging a new generation of coin collectors. Even today, the 1999 Connecticut Quarter remains a meaningful symbol of heritage, history, and national unity within the United States coinage system.